You entered the door and saw a table with food prepared, with flowers and candles also lit. This kind of surprises is not new to you. Since the beginning of your relationship with Jungkook, he often does this kind of things. You sat in the chair and waited for Jungkook. He hasn't been there for a few minutes, so you start to wonder why he hasn't come since he always comes first. Then you remember Kimberly told you he has important meeting, so you just wait patiently. Few more minutes pass again. He's still not there. This time you took your phone to call him. Unfortunately, there was no signal on that area. You stood up to look for a signal when someone pushed you and fell into the four-story building. Before you completely fell on the ground, you woke up and screamed loudly while catching your breath and sweating profusely. You get up and sat on the bed. Until when can I take this nightmare? You ask yourself, and tears slowly falling on your cheek. Not long, you heard footsteps coming. The door opened and your friend Mike came in. He turned on the light in your room and saw you in horrible condition. You're having nightmare again? He asked and hugged you. I'm suffering, and it's even more difficult for me to live because I'm still having a nightmare. And so what happened to me that night? Over and over again. Mike broke the hug and get water. Later on, he came back and gave it to you. Next month, we'll be starting a summer vacation. I'm sure many tourists will come to this resort. We can save money for your treatment. I will pray that the person who pushed you will have a karma, Mike angrily said. He was going to ask about Jungkook, but he remembered that you don't want to talk about him. Since you had an accident, he hasn't shown up, like he completely forgotten you. You wish he just forgot you instead of sending you to a dinner that you thought and caused you to be paralyzed. If Jungkook hadn't sent you to that place, you could might have avoided what happened to you. You were mentally, physically broken. You don't know if you can overcome this severe test in your life. Good thing Mike is there to help you. He was soaking in the bathtub while looking at somewhere. Even if you hide anywhere, I will still find you. I deserve an explanation why you didn't show up that day and suddenly disappeared. Did you just play with me back then? I will show you that I will be happy without you. As he sips the glass with whiskey. Jungkook was at the gym doing push-ups when all of a sudden someone sat behind him. I'm looking for you everywhere. Wow, you improve, huh? It looks like this is exclusive gym. After he heard that voice, he realized a woman is the one who's sitting him and has the courage to insult the Mafia King. He was about to react, but that woman straightened up even more and sat Indian style behind him. Give me 10 more, faster, she said and giggles, at the same time hitting his butt hard as possible. He couldn't take it anymore. He pulled the woman behind him, knocked it down, and now Jungkook was on top of her. Yeah, Mike, what are you doing? Your charisma won't affect me, said the girl, but his eyes widened after seeing the man's face and realized that guy was not her best friend. She pushed the guy to leave, but he didn't even move an inch. He just stared at her as if he was planning to bury her alive. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I thought you were my best friend, the girl named YN said. You didn't mean it? How did you get her? Jungkook asked, since that gym was exclusive only for him. I entered the door, that's it. Can you let me out? I'm not comfortable in this position, you told him. Okay, I will let you go after doing push-up. Later on, 7 men with guns came over. They were also shocked on how did you get in. They were about to get you out, but Jungkook shouted at them to leave. Do you know that you may not be able to get out of this place alive? I can see that. But since I'm nice to girls, I will let you leave, of course. So just stay where you are and watch me. Then he starts to push up again. That makes you insane. Every time his face comes closer to yours. You slowly cover your mouth. However, I said don't move. So you immediately remove the hand covering your mouth and close your eyes. I told you to watch me. How can you watch me if your eyes were closed? He continued to push up until you just felt his lips touch yours. In your surprise, you slap him hard and kick him, causing him to fall to the floor. You grab that opportunity to get up and run away. After seeing the 7 men earlier, you realize that the person you were facing is the Mafia King since you recognize one of them. You knew he worked for the Mafia King. Even though you were afraid that he might kill you, you still gathered all your courage and ran away. You hurriedly get out of the gym, but before you finally get away from him, you look back, as you clearly saw him smirking. You thought you would never see each other again since he didn't know you, but after 3 days, he came to the orphanage where you grew up and found out that he is one of the sponsors of that orphanage. You tried to avoid him, but it was you two were really destined to meet. That is where your story started. Instead of running away from him, you face him. Fortunately, he was the first to apologize. He said he felt humiliated on what you did, but after knowing it's you, he thought of teasing you. Jungkook always saw you every time he visited the orphanage, but you didn't notice him since you were always busy. Later on, you two became friends, and your relationship got deeper and deeper, and ended up of being serious. After 2 years, Jungkook decided to propose to you before he left going to Spain for 4 months mission together with other mafias organization. However, you ghosted him and disappeared like a bubble. He called you, but it seems you purposely turned off your phone. Boss? Boss? Doro called him, but he didn't answer until finally he woke up from his daydream. Huh? Are you saying anything? He asked after seeing Doro standing by his side. Is this YN? He took the cell phone that Doro was holding and stared at the screen. Finally, I found you. Someone posted a picture on the internet. Unfortunately, they accidentally caught you since you were sitting behind them. Where is this place? A resort, boss, in Busan. Busan? But didn't we already search that place? That's what I'm wondering too. Boss, this resort was built around 1 year ago. But why we don't trace this before? Boss, do you notice? Like, someone's blocking us to find YN. Oh, no matter what we look for her, we can't find her. This picture, you only discover it by accident for sure. But who's blocking us? Never mind. You said resort? Yes, boss. This is her best friend's resort. I think she's working there. She'd choose to work in a resort rather than being a flight attendant? He wondered. Because a flight attendant is your profession. Then you're just working at the resort. Is that guy and her have a relationship? I don't know, boss. Then I will find out. Book at the resort for about 1 week and use a different identity. 2 days later, you're in the lobby of the resort, busy organizing the booking, until Mike came and looks exhausted. He stands across from you and drank the water on the table. I thought we wouldn't make it to the preparation of the VIP room. Look, 10 minutes left and the guest will arrive. Why did you accept the booking? You know that the renovation of our VIP rooms will be completed by next week. Of course I will accept it, even if Rush. That guy is pretty rich. He named the price himself. How can I refuse a $5,000 per night? What? But that's too much, Mike? Why in? He gave the price himself. I told him that our VIP room isn't ready yet. But he said even if it's expensive, he will pay because this is what his wife wants. They're going on honeymoon on our resort. What a man. His wife is so lucky to have him. By the way, that guy requested you to be the one who personally entertained them. Me? On this condition? You just show the whole VIP area. Serve their food, of course, with the help of other staff. The important thing is your appearance will be there. Okay, I understand. We need to impress them, so they will come back here. Aside from that, I have already used the money they paid for the resort loan. Mike didn't even finish his sentence because a staff came. Miss YN, sir, the VIP guest is already here. Then a familiar guy with a woman clinging on his arms came and stood in front of you. Mike quickly stood up and greeted them, since he don't meet Jungkook before. You left speechless and just look at him. You can't believe that you will meet again in this kind of situation. Welcome to our resort, ma'am and sir. By the way, I'm Mike, and this is my business partner, YN. He just looked at you while tightly holding the waist of the woman with him. I'm Mr. Jun, and this is my wife. It is slowly becoming clear in your mind. It's possible that Jungkook is just playing with you. He doesn't show up and even look for you. And now he show up, but with his wife. And what's worse is that they're having their honeymoon at your resort. Look at us. I will show it to you that I will be happy even if you left me. This is how we should be, but you just throw me away like trash. I will make you regret YN. Babe, let's go to our room. I want to rest. I'm tired from the flight. Miss YN, can you show us our room? You remain silent and still not moving. YN, show the room, Mike said. Huh? Oh. Follow me, sir. Ma'am. That was all you said after your senses came back. You went out the lobby counter, but he wondered why you didn't stand up. Then he was shocked and couldn't move after saw you on the wheelchair passing in front of them to guide the way going to the VIP room. He can't move or even talk. His eyes widen while staring at your back, turning the wheels of the wheelchair with difficulty. Jungkook's mind was filled with questions that he doesn't know the answer. Like, what happened to you? Did someone hurt you? Why you became like that? Can I help you? And many more. Babe, let's go. You open the door and show the room. Wow, I think this is so insanely beautiful, said Denise as she ran and lay down on the rocking chair. Excuse me, just call me if you need anything. You bow at them and about to leave, but Jungkook blocked his feet on the wheels of the wheelchair. You raise your head, and without hesitation, you look at his eyes. Do you need anything, sir? He just stared at you and slowly removed his feet. You quickly turn the wheels on the wheelchair to get away from them. Denise, get out of here. Go back to Spain. What? But I just arrived. Then go somewhere else if you want to vacation. I will tell Duro to find you a better resort. Jungkook took his phone and called Doro to pick up Denise. She gets up angrily and takes Jungkook. Why are you so harsh to your sister? You forced me to come back because you need me. You asked me to pretend your wife and now you're going to kick me out? Please, just leave me here. I think I made a huge mistake. She pulled his brother's wallet and took the black card. I will leave if you will allow me to use this. Do whatever you want. You went to your room and cried silently. You hoped that when Jungkook came back from abroad, he will find you. You wanted to get angry with him for not showing up. Still, you stop yourself. Probably he has a reason. You want to hear his explanation. You waited for him and hope everything will be okay with the two of you. But this is what happened. He married someone. You felt being deceived and betrayed. Miss YN, I was looking for you. Is there a problem? The VIP guest asking for tissue. Tissue? But there are tissues in the room. I don't know, Miss YN. Why is still asking for tissue? Okay, I will take it to the room. You went to the stock room and get some tissue. You put it in your legs and went to Jungkook and his wife's room. You pressed the doorbell. Later on, it opened. You're asking for tissue, sir? You said since Jungkook was the one who opened the door. My hands are wet. Can you place that on the table? You went inside and put the tissue on the table. But when you're about to leave, you grabbed the armchair of your wheelchair. Can we talk? You remove his hand and say, your wife might misunderstand if she saw us. He sat in the front of you and turned the wheelchair to face him. He blocked his two legs so you couldn't move. What happened to you? Who did this to you? Is it possible for you to walk again? He asked. You don't need to care if what happens to me. Let me go. I won't let you out of here if you don't answer me. Then you slap him. If you had come that night, if you hadn't made me go to that place, I wouldn't be like this. I waited for you. I waited for you for a long time, but you didn't come. I hate you. I hate you. Why have you never just show up in front of me? As you burst into tears. I don't understand what are you saying. You wipe your tears and calm yourself. After that, you push him. Just enjoy your honeymoon with your wife. Then you left. Jungkook's mind became even more confused with your words. I don't come? But I was there. I waited for you for 5 hours. It was you who didn't come. Past 11 at night, Jungkook hears noise outside, so he peeked outside to know what's happening. Then he saw Mike running, followed by his staff. What's going on? He asked the staff. Miss YN is burning with fever. We need to bring her to the hospital. Jungkook freaked out after found out your condition. He ran even though he was shirtless and went in the direction where Mike went. When he got to your room, he saw you sweating and weak, while in Mike's arms. He suddenly picked you up from Mike's arms and rushed to walk. Mom, the Mafia King already found YN. How that happened? We blocked all the possible ways so he can find her.